Good man, that Meneth.
Yeah, good man.
Best
good
thing
man.
to come out of Norway since oil. The Paradox Spring Sale is live with up to 75% discount on select titles until April 1st. Use the link in the description to learn more. Welcome back to another stream, everyone. It is time for Imperator, and this time I'm taking on the role of... Well, I was going to say I wasn't taking on the role of Johan, but Johan knows stuff, and I don't. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Blondie. I'm the streaming director of Paradox Interactive, and you are...
I'm Rod. I'm the community developer for Imperator.
Yes. If you've been watching the Imperator Dev Clash, you'll maybe know that I am the player of Kush.
Yep.
I haven't been doing fantastically. I need someone else to take the reins. So we decided we haven't really shown any love to the tribes.
That's true.
There are a lot of them in Imperator, so
Yep.
we're going to go with one.
Caledonia, and it's going to be a very hard start because if you take a look a bit at the map, we're very isolated from the rest of the world.
That's fine, because
So,
if you go into decisions, we have Unite Britannia and Unite
Indeed.
Albion
Yes.
as two potential decisions.
So, yeah.
Do you know if those are mutually exclusive? If you make Britannia, you can't make Albion?
You can make Albion if you unite Britannia and you become Britannia, because you have a few requirements. When it comes to Britannia, it's basically, if we zoom out a bit, Britannia, you need to get all these provinces here
that are
down the
highlighted
south.
at that point.
Exactly, highlighted here. Thank Menef for locking in this little hook that allows us to highlight stuff, which is pretty nifty.
Good man, that Meneth.
Yeah, good man.
Best thing to come out of Norway since oil. We basically need all of England to make Britannia.
Exactly. But I think we can perhaps kick it up a notch if we can and unite Albion, which is basically
all of the
Britain.
British
Yeah.
Isles. You said that Caledonia is a settled tribe. What does that mean?
We have two main forms of tribe in the game. We have the migratory tribe and the settled tribe. The migratory, self-explanatory in a way, that means that you can move your population around in order to attack people faster, also move your country around from on the map.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not that. We're a settled tribe. And a settled tribe here means that we have what we call a higher centralization level. We're at 25%, which is a fairly high.
Okay.
If centralization goes lower, and there's no way to, let's say, have mechanics of the game that will push that. It's events and actions that whilst you're playing will push centralization either higher or lower.
Okay.
But you cannot really interact with it per se. If it lowers too much, then we're going to be a migratory tribe, which is fun, but we want to be more centralized and more powerful, because you have also bonus that are tied to centralization. If we have a negative centralization, we're going to have influential clan chief, bigger retinues, which can be useful. Bigger retinues being the troops that are manned by your clan chiefs, and we're going to tackle that in a second. And you can perform tribal migration, and we don't want that. If we have positive centralization, then it decreases the size of the clan retinues, that is the armies of the clan leaders that we can actually see here, the clan chiefs. So there's me.
One is us, or our leader?
Our current leader. Then you have Venutius Acus and Marcelio Celantus. And basically in the game, you have always at least 3 clan chiefs. When our current ruler is going to die, we're going to have an heir, and that heir will be elected by the clan chief. So right now it's Venutius Acus who's on top of things.
He's not a very good fighter or anything else other than the civic power. He's good at civic, but I saw a sneak peek at the other guy.
This one?
Yeah, he is a great fighter.
This is the dude we want to please.
Yes.
We want to have him on the throne, and so far he's just lacking behind just by a teensy bit, because the succession is measured according to the traits of your characters. These main traits are stemming from basically what you could say, they are in correlation with the power that you have here, which is military, civic, oratory, and religious. So here, if we take a look, you have martial, which is based on his skills in military, and so on and so forth. So finesse is for the civic, charisma is linked to oratory, and zeal is linked to religious.
Most likely, if you just leave things alone, the succession support is going to be for whichever chief is the most overall better.
Exactly. Clan chiefs are super, super important for 2 reasons. One, I've already approached it, it's the retinue mechanism. If we take a look at the map, so far we have a 7k stack here.
Yep.
Which is composed of one stack of 4 cohorts and one stack of 3 cohorts. And these guys, they are led by 2 respective clan chiefs. And they can control units. They are labeled in blue, meaning that they are not ours. We can control them on the map for sure.
Yeah.
But they belong to this guy, and their loyalty belongs to this guy. So what you really want to do with that is make sure that your characters have high loyalty for you. If they are disloyal, they will turn against you and probably generate a civil war. So you always want to balance stuff with them and always keep them happy. So this is also very, very important because you really want to have this here.
And even if they don't turn against you, you're basically gonna lose control of that unit, so you can't control it on the map anymore.
And also another super important mechanic about that, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to enact a law, so we were talking about forming Albion, which requires of being either a republic or a monarchy. The problem that you have is that when you push a new law, your clan chiefs will lose loyalty. You can see also one cool thing about centralization. You have here a nifty little screen that shows you what are the perks of your centralization level currently. So for now we have a higher civilization level. We have a size of clan retinue that is at minus 12% because of the high threshold of centralization that we currently have. And there's also a mechanism that makes the promotion cost to a freeman level. Say if you want to push a tribesman to a freeman level, and if you're just joining us right now, you have basically 4 types of population in the game that are nicknamed pops, which represents a base unit within your country. And basically you have your slaves that will generate some income for you. You have your tribesmen that would generate manpower. Freemen, kind of the same thing, but tribesmen are more tied to tribal governments. And then you have citizens that will push your research level. So in a nutshell, just in case.
And all of these pops have their individual happiness level. You can end up with populations who have a different culture or religion or both in your country, and they're probably not going to like you because they are not like you. We have civilization here, which is how civilized your country is, and your tribesmen dislikes civilization. They want to live in their mud huts and do things like they've always done it. They're very conservative like that. They don't like change.
Picture centralization as your infrastructure and urbanization network. They don't want to see magnificent pillars of marbles popping in their town. This is in a nutshell what being a tribal government is about. So let's go back a bit to the situation that we have here. We're a bit afar from the rest of the world. We have colonizable land that stands here and here. We could potentially endeavor in colonizing it. To colonize, we would require at least 10 pops, so population, within our province that stands right here. Here you can see that we have 2 tribesmen. We could potentially move them here in order to reach 10. So it would make 7. But we would lose territory, and we would lose also trade goods that are on this specific terrain. If I recall correctly, like if we were to move that tribesman, it would cost us 20 civic power. And we don't want to lose that right off the bat playing Caledonia. So if we want to get Britannia, the best way is to start by attacking Taexalia. This little country here. Because here it's basically colonizable terrain. And we can't afford it right now. The situation right now here, when we come to the diplomatic map mode, which shows you which countries you can interact with, we can basically interact with all the light gray area here. So we have access to a fair amount of countries, and we can interact with them fairly easily.
And diplomatic range is based on distance from your capital to your to other people's capital. Unless they have a border with you. I believe you can always have diplomatic relations with anyone you border. Diplomatic range is also can be improved by tech and by your country rank.
Yes, and when we take a look at the rank right now, we're just a
local power, which is, I mean, it's not as bad as the city-states.
No, granted.
And there's also Migrant Horde, which I don't believe you can play.
No. Before declaring war and imposing, we need to take care of a few things. Now, one of the first things that is good to do when you start the game is go to the national overview, where you have your national ideas. And here we can see that we have a military icon and an oratory icon.
Oh, they only have 2 ideas
available. because we're a tiny local power.
Oh, that's how that's based.
Yep.
Okay.
So right now, if we match these ideas, if we take a military idea here and an oratory idea here, we will get a bonus with country civilization level increasing, which, you know, it's...
we might not want that.
We might not want that, but still, we would get an increase of 1 in military, 1 in civic, 1 in oratory, and 1 in religion, which we want.
Yes, that is huge.
Especially when you look at the stats of our leader.
She's terrible. Well, actually, she's very spiritual.
You don't want her controlling an army. Like, for nothing in the world would I put her in the position of a general, for instance.
No. She's a terrible general.
Okay, so we're gonna start with selecting national ideas. When it comes to military ideas, you have always 3 choices that pop so far. I haven't seen a game where you start with more than that.
No, I think it's...
You have martial ethos with a 10 plus of morals for armies, which is
so good.
Always super good because you want that moral. Moral for an army means that you have a little bar right here under our retinues. This is the moral of our army. It's at full right now. If we engage in a combat, they will lose moral because, you know, it's war. There's psychology involved and people will be super scared.
If there's no morale in your army, then your army just gives up.
And another one is the permanent shipyard that allows you to build triremes faster. Cheaper triremes. And lastly, we have ordered retreat, a favorite of mine, which increases the reinforcement speed. The reinforcement speed being the numbers of troops that will pull into your army in order to reinforce it. And then there's a +5 moral to the armies, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go for that one.
All right. Yeah.
So let's go for that. So we have one matching idea, and then comes the oratory power. And here we have the choice between sanction and privilege, which basically reduces the corruption because your clan chiefs can get corrupted if you bribe them. You can also get corrupted yourself if you endeavor into illegal activities. You have also military administration, which increases the loyalty of your generals and admirals. And lastly, the auspicium, which improves the maximum opinion that other people can have of you or other countries.
Yeah, so if you want someone to like you, you can interact with them, and basically you send diplomats to try and get their government to like your government better, and this will increase the amount they can improve
exactly.
the opinion.
We could definitely take another military idea and just not have our bonus, but since we have such a bad leader with the military power, we still want to have that uptick in military power, because basically each month, based on the stats of your leader, you will get an increase in these numbers here.
Yep.
So far we have a base of 2, which is the baseline that we have, but because of our glorious Okonea Iaka, we get 0 from her. One cool thing and little trait that you can do, since we have clan leaders that are using their retinues to fight for us, is use this one, because it increases the loyalty monthly of your generals. And since your clan leaders are at the head of these retinue troops, it will increase their loyalty to you.
That's fantastic.
Which is a really nice tip when you're starting with a tribe and you're a bit scared of facing, you know, disloyal bad people.
Can you mouse over one of the ones we can't pick?
Absolutely.
Just for a moment?
So...
Just anything.
Anything.
Yeah, so there we see why we can't pick this.
Yeah.
So martial advances is our technology level. So our martial technology level is not at level 6 or higher, which means we can't pick thalassocracy.
Exactly, and if we take a gander at the technology tab,
we're at 0.
We're at 0 right now. It's the same thing, I think, for everyone at the start of the game. And the thing is, research points, basically you have researchers that you choose yourself, and that are, like, you have a template at the beginning of the game with already set people, but you can replace them as you see fit. But be careful, because people that were in place might get disloyal. So right now, our research is not going great.
No.
Why is it? First and foremost and only because we don't have any citizens, because like I said before, citizen will generate your research. So far our research is going to take super slowly.
The advances does not dictate how many inventions you can pick necessarily. So we can see that we have a bunch of inventions available to us here.
We have a load of them, and
they cost each 100 civic power.
Yes.
And say that we had, 2,000 civic power, we could pick all of these.
Yes.
With even without doing any advances. these are set and will be the same every time. And the only way to get new inventions after you've researched all the other inventions is to get more advances.
Yes.
So every level of advance or every level of technology will get you new inventions that you can pick.
It will generate 3 new inventions. Let's go back to our ideas. So far, because I want that bonus,
All right.
I'm gonna pick this one because I also want to ensure loyalty from my generals. So there we go.
Perfect.
And now if we go to the tab here, you can see that because of our military administration that we pick, it is, I cannot mouse over it because I'm already mousing over something, but you can see that there is military administration given plus 0.05 in loyalty. So a good perk to have.
Yeah. And you can see that despite this, his loyalty is going down.
Yes.
Because he has a lot of cohorts or troops that are loyal to him, and
Makes
so he
sense.
feels powerful. Therefore, he doesn't feel the need to necessarily be loyal. And of course, in a tribal government, that is going to be always the case. They're always going to have a lot of loyal cohorts.
Yes.
But in, say, a monarchy or republic, if you appoint a general, they can have cohorts become loyal to them over time, which will add up to that loyal cohorts modifier. And so in my case, in Kush, I ended up with a general who was at 0 loyalty. He wasn't strong enough or powerful enough to create a civil war or revolt or anything, but I think he had like 18 stacks of or 18,000 men.
Oh wow!
That were all loyal to him, and so it was really hard for me to try and get him back to being loyal to me.
Of course,
because he had such a strong force of loyal men that he didn't feel like he had to obey me.
He didn't owe you anything.
No,
basically.
there are ways you can do that. You can basically pay off loyal cohorts to not be loyal to them.
Yeah.
If you're in a monarchy or republic or anything like that.
So, what are we going for here? We could go for a few things, and I think right now a few good picks would be probably Oath of Brotherhood. Why? Because it increases the moral recovery of your troops.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Which is always a nice to have. So beware, it's not because it says religious here that it's necessarily tied to religion. It can also be tied to something else. And you have really cool stuff when you start the game, and you have to make picks early on what you're going to do. You have herbalism that increases the technology speed, so that means that your technology will rise faster. And you also have military artisan, which is super interesting, which increases the military tech investment, meaning that you will get higher tech only for martial stuff. Right now, we're going to take Oath of Brotherhood because it's really interesting. We're not going to go for the technology speed. We want that moral when we're going to fight. Yeah. Because we're very squishy too. Yeah. So let's go for this one. The second one we really want is actually, I can't remember. Yes, aggressive protection. Why do we want that? Because it lowers the fabrication of claim on the country. Right now we don't have claims. Claims are provide you with casus belli, meaning a reason for war from Latin. And basically, if we want to fabricate a claim, we need to lower the cost because right now the threshold is at nearly 200 oratory power. So we want to lower that a bit. So let's go for this one.
Yeah. It's interesting that you would choose that. I would have gone probably with hierarchical haruspice.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
This one gives a nice bonus to omens, which is really cool, and we're actually going to pick one right now. So we're going to go to the religious tab and select an omen. Yeah. And since we're going to be warmongering bad dudes, we want the blessing of Taranis, which gives us a +6 in discipline.
Discipline increases your chance or increases your ability to lay the smackdown.
Yes, pretty much. So let's go for it. And there we go. We have it. Yay! Last thing to tackle right now, like I said before, retinues, they belong to our clan chiefs. Just in case, I'm going to go into the macro builder right here, go to recruit cohorts, and I'm going to make a few of them.
So there are various different types of units that you can build in the game.
Let's go with archers.
Yeah, so they have their various bonuses and negatives. So we can see here that archers take extra morale damage. So if they start taking damage, they're gonna lose their morale much faster. They are they don't take as much attrition because they have lower attrition weight, and they also function variously different compared to other cohorts. An army of only archers would be very effective against an army of only light infantry.
Exactly. We're building a few skirmishers, so they're basically your light infantry, and a few archers so far. So let's build a chariot here and there, and we are at yeah, it's gonna be fine. Perhaps at another one because we're at 4 so far.
6, yeah.
So let's add 1 archer and 1 skirmisher.
Yeah, and as you saw, as we were building those,
we decreased in manpower.
We decreased in manpower because it costs manpower. You have to put men into your army and also money.
Yeah.
Of course, you have a monthly balance of your income versus your expenses, and having a standing army will cost you money.
For sure.
Unlike EU4, there is no force limit where if you go above it, you will start paying extra. You can have as much as your economy allows.
Exactly.
And it doesn't scale high at some point.
And right now we are ready to pause.
Yeah, let's go.
So, we could strike an alliance also with a country here or here. Not really useful because if we strike an alliance with them, they're going to have to go around here to get there, to this territory, and here they're going to be the next thing we're going to munch. Yeah. So no alliances for now, and it's also the reason of creating another small stack in order to be stronger facing Taxania, and especially if we take a look at their country, they have 11 cohorts, which is fairly big, and right now we are standing, sorry, it was in the diplomatic window, we are standing on a 7. So once our armies pop, we will have an advantage. And while we wait for our army to be created, we also can wait for the oratory power to pop here, because once we want to fabricate a claim on them, we cannot declare war with them for now. There's a rule in the game where you cannot do war until the 1st of November.
Yeah, just so you can't immediately day one go to war. Yeah,
pretty much. And in order to fabricate a claim, it will cost us 180. So it was indeed 200 initially. Yeah. So another thing that we can do also that we didn't do here because it costs a lot of oratory power is have a diplomatic stance. Diplomatic stances, if we were, say, to take a bellicose stance, we would have a war coast cost, which would cost less, meaning that in order to attain the goal of our war, we would get that faster. Okay. And we would have also a bonus to fabricate claims, which is the bonus that we got through the invention that we picked, basically.
But it also costs 100 oratory power to change.
And for
so
now,
at this point, maybe not.
And we can see that we have a few alerts here. So we have an unused trade route, meaning that from our capital, we can import goods. This is another thing we want to do now, and I'm going to pause just to make sure we don't screw anything up. So we're going to go into the trade overview, and we're going to click here to make sure that we keep our capital surplus, which we don't have, which is weird because we used to have one when I played it. Okay.
So in our country right now, we have base metals.
Yes.
We have fish.
Yes.
Fash. And another base metals. So we have metals, we have fish.
And stone, that's right here. We could get it, but we don't have it.
If we, when we colonize that, we can get stone. And various trade goods have various effects.
Exactly.
So, for example, to build boats, as we said, we need the wood trade good. Yeah. To build elephant units, you need elephants.
Actually, let's take a look right now.
So there are a lot of trade goods. Strategic resources are used for building various different units. So we can see the camels, elephants, iron, horses, wood. All of them have corresponding units that you need the trade goods in your capital to build. Then growth just increases how fast populations grow
itself. Like we can take a look. Like fish will increase your local population growth, but and if you get a surplus of it, you will get national freeman happiness for a freeman.
And every level will increase that. So if you have a +2 surplus, then you will have. It will keep going up. It's not like it's just +1 and then doesn't matter. But it does have diminishing returns. You can't just stack fish everything.
So we have an event here. Warriors Honor. The battle-hardened soldiers serving under Marcelio Selatus have performed might acts of valor. I'm not really sure of that because we haven't got into war. Marcelio, in an act of benevolence, has requested permission to institute a particular form of service reward unique to his army. Marcelio would take great offense at being denied this honor, but we might wish to be careful for allowing him too much autonomy.
So we can either give this honor to him, which gives his units +2 discipline.
Yeah.
And makes them a higher chance of becoming loyal to him. But they're already loyal to him, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or he can become disloyal.
And we don't want that. And you can also see that we have another alert, which is the lack of commander, because we popped... Let's go back to this map. Yeah, we spawned a few troops, so we're going to put a general in charge. And who can we put here? We don't have any scornful family, so we don't have anyone that we want to please, because if we had scornful family, they will be a tad disloyal. So,
So when you pick a general for your armies, there's a few things you should keep in mind. First, like you said, if you have scorned families, it might be worth picking a general from that family to increase the opinion of the family for you, because that gives them a job, which gets them income to the family, which increases their opinion of you as a ruler. Another is their military prowess, which you can see on the far right here.
Yep.
We don't have fantastic people here. The third thing are the traits of the characters. So
yes.
Characters can have traits. So here we can see that Awen Akka has the corrupt personality, which increases her corruption.
Yeah.
And if she is put as a commander, it increases the chance of us enslaving people. In EU4, you would have spoils of war. You would get money.
Exactly.
You basically raid the city. It's very similar here, but instead of taking money, you take pops.
Yeah, you take slaves back to your hometown.
Yeah.
And let's see. Well, this guy is fairly okay because he is disciplined, so it increases martial and discipline of the troop, which is nice.
That's really nice.
And he's uncaring, so there's probably a loyalty gain to our own troops could become loyal to him over time, and it increases national free man output, which we don't care that much about for now.
But he's very loyal as well, which is good.
Yes. And if we're not going to go too far. Here it's camel discipline. We don't have it. We don't want it.
Like cavalry discipline also don't have it, so we don't care.
Because we don't have horses, naturally. So we
this
can't
guy I
that.
really like.
So martial +1. He's a tactician. Horse archer, archer discipline +5. Horse archer discipline +5. Light infantry discipline +5. I'm going for you.
Yeah.
So now he's the head of our army, and we're gonna merge. Well, not yet, because there's the supply limit of 5 that you can see on screen.
So we're gonna ignore an army for that troop for now.
For yet. Oh my god, I'm so French. Yes, let's speed up a bit. We have a child.
Hey, nice.
Congrats, leader.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
So we have 185 orator power now. We can fabricate our claim.
Exactly. So let's go on these guys. Hello, I want your turf.
Very sweet. Hello, I want your turf.
Hello, I am sorry, I'm very in the lagom, but I will annex you now.
So we've now fabricated a claim on the province.
But we can declare war yet, because we sent a diplomat there, and we will be able to send one back on the 3rd of April.
Basically, we sent the diplomat who went there, wrote some papers, forged some papers that said, actually, we own this.
Yeah, okay. War declared. All bets are off.
So
I'm just gonna swiftly ask him to move there, him behind, and let's roll.
Didn't move all of them.
Alright, because I am dumb, and because we cannot merge them because they're retinues. Yeah. They want to hold on to their leaders. So more like the leader wants to hold on to its troops, which makes more sense. So we have an event with religious guidance. Our high priestess Akka has asked us for more funding for religious ceremonies. Well, that's nice. With a larger budget to gather the materials necessary for a proper ceremony. She argues it would get us closer to the divine. Supporting her undertaking will certainly cement her loyalty to the nation, but the cost is a lot of gold. Oh, hell no.
So we would lose 23.6 gold.
Sure.
We have 25 point something.
I'm sorry, sister, but you're losing your loyalty here.
It's fine.
Yeah.
She's only the high priestess. Right now, she doesn't matter to us.
Yeah.
I would move our...
you were saying? Did I screw up, perhaps?
Click on the battle.
Yeah, let's click on the battle.
So we have the battle here. We can see that we have a stance there. We have the moose stance. I forget what it's called. And the green check mark.
The moose, meaning that our stance is superior to their stance.
Yes, it gives us a... it gives us a modifier of 0%.
Yes.
However, their stance is giving them a modifier of minus 10%.
Yes, and bear in mind that we are in a little of a situation here because we cross the river.
Yeah.
So we have -1 to our rolls, which is a stat that is implemented when it comes to people fighting. And we have a slightly better discipline. I'm not sure we're gonna make it, unfortunately.
No.
My bad. But you guys now here.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it in. Pause.
Ah.
Mouse over the army moving in. They're gonna get there on the 24th of September. 20 days.
It's fine. I got this, man.
Do you?
I got this.
Click on the battle.
Okay, we are defeated.
Oh, and
No, don't you dare. Okay, my bad.
are they locked in?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God, Rod!
Whoops!
You can see the you can see the notification there. If you mouse over this.
This means we're getting.
It's very likely that we will lose because our commander is a Marshal 4.
Because he's dumb.
Theirs is a Marshal 9. And
Abort!
They have a bigger army, and for some reason they also have better quality. Well, it's too late now, so we can see our units there dying.
Can we flog Rod now?
Yeah, you can roll with it. Oh gosh, sorry, chat.
Well, it's perfect because it is 7 o'clock perfectly. We are gonna pause here for next week. We're gonna rewind time to before those two battles happened.
Yes, before my complete and utter failure.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
This has been a very introductory, very talky
Yes.
episode. And hopefully for the future, we're going to have a little bit more action.
I think
and
it's going to be more action-based. Hopefully, if I don't screw up that much.
Yeah, maybe I will take the reins. Who knows?
What?
I've enjoyed this.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you,
was
everyone.
awesome.
Goodbye.